welcome to this week's Tuesday Tip. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Tessa.
And this week we're going to be talking with you about negative reviews, what to do when you get one, and how to turn a more negative situation into maybe a more positive one. So, Tessa, why don't you tell us, what do you think, if I get a negative review or an agent gets a negative review, what is the first thing that you think that they should do to kind of, prepare themselves for that situation?
Well, the first thing you're going to want to do when you get a negative review is just take a step back and take a moment to sort of relax and get away from it a little bit.
Calm down.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
You just want to calm down.
And it can be hard because it feels like a personal attack almost.
Sure.
But I agree with you. I think that just like calming down, because you can really easily just get into, your online kind of persona and start saying things that you don't mean, be on the defensive, but it's really just not the best thing to do,
right.
Even though sometimes you feel like it.
The last thing you want to do is sort of lash out in response and write a really angry, like, you don't know anything kind of like response, and then the next thing you know, all of your new future clients are going to be able to go and see that review that you wrote, and if they think that's how you respond to poor situations, they're probably not going to want to work with you.
Yeah, it's very, very public. Mm-hmm. The second step that you should take is to really kind of get personal, step away from your computer now that you've kind of diffused the situation for yourself at least. If you have a personal relationship with this person, give them a call. If you have their phone number, definitely reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love to sit down with you and talk about what's going on. If you have an idea of what the situation might be, why they're upset, and if you can come up with a way to fix it, I think it's good to just step away from the computer, because even if you do respond to people, whether you're on the defensive or not, I think that people can get a little bit carried away online because you're behind a computer.
Sure,
you don't have a lot
anonymity that you can hide behind.
Right. So I think it's important to try and get personal if you can. If not, that's when kind of the next part comes in. Respond to your review. So first of all, don't let it, just pass you by. Definitely want to respond to it. And then, like we said before, don't, be on the defensive and try to, I would try to sympathize with them before you get on the defensive.
Sure. You might want to say something like, oh, Caitlin, I'm sorry to hear that you had a poor experience with us. If there's somebody you could probably say, I'll be in touch because I'd love to learn ways to improve. And if you don't know them or you don't know their contact info, maybe say, hey, do you think you could reach out to me, give me a call? I'd love to make this right for you. What can I do?
Right.
And it will really paint you in a good light and show that you're willing to really open up and learn from your mistakes.
Exactly. And our third tip for you, this is kind of the combating negative reviews part. Always ask for reviews. So if you're constantly asking for reviews, it's going to fill up all of your reviews, whether it's on Facebook, Google, your website. I think it's important to consistently ask for those reviews. And what we tell our clients to do is, I think a lot of times you'll expect that the only time to ask for a review is at the end of your transaction.
Sure.
But we always tell our clients to ask at the beginning, middle, and end of the transaction. And we actually have some really cool tips for writing email scripts to people to ask for reviews in the Marketing Vault. So you have the Marketing Vault right in the back end in Dakno Admin. So if you have any trouble finding that, just reach out to your marketing specialist. But definitely some good email scripts for that there.
Right.
So asking throughout.
Yeah, that way you can set the expectation that, this is a relationship and I'm going to do the best I can do to buy or sell your home. And in return, I'd really appreciate it if you could tell everybody that I've done a great job and that this has been a successful relationship.
Yeah.
And even if it turns out that you can't get rid of that negative review, because a lot of times you can't, unless they decide to delete it themselves. There's really not a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah. If you can't diffuse the situation and you end up stuck with that negative review, I wouldn't panic. That actually makes your positive reviews seem more legitimate.
Sure.
And I think it's, like we said before, to fill up your reviews with more positive ones. Keep asking people. I know it can kind of seem, daunting to ask people and then they say no or they never do it, but I would consistently, send out an email blast to them to ask for reviews during their transaction. So
Because if you log on to somebody's Google account and you see that they have, 10 really positive reviews and maybe one negative one, they're going to think that's the odd situation out. Like, they're going to believe those 10 reviews that say, oh, this person is great to work with and they really helped me find my home or sell my home.
Right, and sometimes when I go on business websites or find people on Google, I find it strange when they have a 5-star review, and sometimes it'll only have like 2 reviews at all, and it's like 5 stars. I'm like, I can't get a good enough sample set from that. So
or you can't trust that they're legitimate. Like maybe they've only asked people, maybe they've purchased those, because I've heard that happens, and it just seems kind of sketchy.
Right.
Yeah.
And one more tip for you guys, it's really good to get reviews on Google, Facebook, Yelp, all that good stuff, but I would definitely reach out to your clients and ask them to review you on your website. We actually have a feature where if people fill out a negative review, you can actually hide it on your website, and you also get more traffic to your website when you're sending people there for reviews. So definitely make sure to send people to your website, say, hey, go to my testimonials or reviews page, give me a review there. So I think that's about it for today. Those are our main tips for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or your marketing specialists, and we will see you next week.